Hey, what's up everyone? Today the developers have confirmed that there are some bugs with the R36 Eruptor as well as the Warbond. And there's also some breaking news that we will be covering because the community manager Spitz has just been fired and is now demoted to a regular member. Not only that, but the community manager has discussed there will be some changes to the Super Citizen bundle. Arrowhead is considering doing dev streams in the near future, and some region locked users are able to play still. There's more that we will be covering here, so if you do find the video useful at any point, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Let's begin with the most recent updates on the Super Citizen Edition for Helldivers 2. Currently, if you buy this bundle, you will receive the Warbond, but not a lot of people are for this. They would rather receive the super credits. With that being said, the developers are contemplating some changes. Right here is a post created by this member, and he says, "It would be great if they changed the Super Citizen Edition, that you will get the super credits instead of the Warbond." The community manager replied, "This is something we're discussing internally." So if you have been contemplating purchasing the Super Citizen Edition at any point, I would recommend waiting until there's confirmation of the change. This advice applies specifically if you're not interested in the Warbond, but would rather prefer the super credits instead. However, this might not be a deal breaker for you, so feel free to buy the bundle now if you do not mind the Warbond. What we have next is another member here. This time it's a question about the dev streams. This member asked, "Not sure if this is your domain, but dev streams talking about the game or its creation might be a fun addition to the community." The community manager responded with, "It's 100% something we'd love to start doing. We've just had a whole lot of other things to deal with first." There's something to look forward to. I'm a huge fan of this idea and would love to see this in the future. What about you all? What are your thoughts on the Super Citizen bundle and the possibility of seeing a dev stream in the near future? Alright, moving along here, the R36 Eruptor is definitely bugged at the moment and the developers are revisiting it. A member posed this question: "Have the on-duty CMs noticed how divisive, to put in conservatively, the shrapnel removal is? I'm hoping the team can take another look and reevaluate the importance of the shrapnel." The community manager Twinbeer replied, "We are already. There are 2 or 3 things we've noticed aren't working as intended. Even if we check them beforehand, that's one of them." The R36 is definitely experiencing some bugs. If I may share my perspective, I'm not really fond of the Democratic Detonation Warbond. I'm not sure how you all feel about it, but for me, it's just too slow. I also find the booster to be less useful. Of course, this is just my opinion, but perhaps I'm not using it right. Also, Twinbeard informed us that there currently is some issues with the Warbond by stating this right here. A message to you this time, fellow Helldivers, about the question surrounding currency in Helldivers 2 for our Japanese players. We are aware of the fact that bonus currency is not being shown on the Warbond overview page. This is only a visual bug. There is no conspiracy, greed, or undemocratic behavior from neither Arrowhead nor Sony at play here. We're currently looking into the why and hows and will resolve the issue. Currently, we have no ETA on the fix. In Japanese, due to the Japanese legislation, currency in Helldivers 2 has to be displayed as bought SC and found SC. Virtually currency there has to be refunded at the end of the game's lifetime. Hence, if we refunded the found SC, this system could be used in ways it wasn't intended. E.g. for farming free money. Japanese players can buy a Warbond using the combination of found and bought SCs. In other words, if you have 800 of one and 200 of the other, you can mix and match to spend 1,000 on a Warbond. Currently, the visual bug displays only one of the currency types, or according to users' posts on Reddit, not confirmed by us at Arrowhead, you can spend one type of currency named bought SC. Well, as you can tell right there, there was some sort of exploit that these Japanese players could use to potentially gain free money. What we have next is a post that was created by a Helldivers 2 moderator that posted this right here. PSA, people who continue to own the game and did not get a refund in regions where it was delisted can still play the game. Then if you look at the bottom here, it shows this post by a Reddit user who says, "OP confirmed at a later date that it was user-related problem and was not consequence of delisting the game in their region." Then if we go further down, it says, "I sincerely appreciate those who have helped me sorting this login issue out. With everything that you all know what is happening right now, I really thought it was gone for good. I was able to patch some things up with the help of a few notes, and I can now play the game. Note, a few of my pals also encountered a few issues and are unable to launch the game, but it's all good now." Now, if we go ahead and check out the comments, this user says, "From Vietnam, yes, I can still play the game, just waiting for Steam PlayStation to add the game on the store again." Then another user pops up and says, "So glad we still have you with us. I was in the squad with a guy from Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore." Okay, so there are apparently some that can still gain access. If anyone out there that is on the region block list, please let me know down below if it's possible or not. We're now going to talk about Spitz because he has just been fired and is no longer a community manager. This right here is what Spitz posted randomly in the Discord by saying today is a dark day. Then he continues on to say, I appreciate all the support and I appreciate even more that everyone can play the game again without restrictions. I knew I was taking a risk with what I said about refunding and changing reviews. I stand by it and it was my job to represent the community. That's what I did. Taking the rest of the day off, not feeling super well, love you all. So now it does appear that he has been fired, and this is what he does say later on because he actually hops back onto the Discord and replies to this member by saying, I wanted to work for Arrowhead because they're my all-time favorite studio. I got that chance, I'm thankful for that opportunity. I'd happily continue working for them if I had the choice, but that isn't up to me or anyone else in here. I can walk away happy and I don't want anyone causing trouble on my behalf. Especially not people I still have a lot of care and respect for. He also goes into detail about how this made him upset, and this is what he had to say to this user. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little cry earlier, but the account linking was reverted and that's what matters through all this. He also made a comment to this user who said, Spitz got demoted for our sins. Then Spitz replied, generally it's not a good idea to tell people to refund and leave negative reviews when you're a community manager, TIL. And the last and final response can be found right here, and Spitz says, I challenge anyone to put in the position that the CMs or moderators have been in the last 4 days and not let a bit of attitude seep into their comments and statements, but I agree, more professionalism was needed in some of the things I said. Now, obviously, I create YouTube videos, so I cannot relate to this, but I do receive quite a few crazy comments and people telling me all sorts of stuff to do to myself, and I've also, seen a lot of stuff that I just can't say. So I completely understand it that it can be difficult. But at the same time, I think there is some professionalism that you can use here because you do not need to speak your mind or, erupt and just say a bunch of crap that he said. And to be quite fair, it is forgivable. Also, what I would like to know is your opinions on Spitz. What do you think about this situation? Do you believe he deserved to be fired or do you believe he deserves another chance? Let me know down below in the comments. We are now going to take a look at the Arrowhead CEO's response to the recent closure of several studios. This includes Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Studios, Tango Gameworks, and last but not least, Roadhouse Games. This was the CEO's response to that. I don't understand the closure of Tango Gameworks. I mean, why close instead of divest? Surely the team would easily have been able to find a new home. This right here was the CEO's response to the issues, and it does suck because, why fire a great studio like them? Hi-Fi Rush was pretty successful. And so, to see that it's now finally shut down is quite depressing, but we're now going to talk about the top 3 comments from the previous video. The first comment here can be found by a user named Ash Creeper, and he says, people say Sony may try something like this again. If they do, I have faith in the community will unite again and remind them of May 6th. The second comment here can be found by this user named Sigma, and he says, reminder that democracy only works when people are armed. In this case, people were armed with the power of negative review. Democracy doesn't work when authority doesn't fear the people. That's why companies absolutely hate it when random people can give reviews, and not just their shills that they have on their payroll. The so-called critics and authoritative sources. Companies would love nothing more than for platforms to allow critics to review their products because they can control and influence the critics to give favorable reviews, but they can't do crap to control the average Joe. And last but not least, we have this user named Super Citizen, and this person says, remember, you can't just say, I win. The enemy has to agree or they'll keep shooting at you every time you leave your bunker. If you would like to be featured in the next video, leave a comment down below. With all this being said, hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on the next one.